What's good? It's K Fuego back with another video. So look, body game doesn't mean nothing if you don't have a backbone, right? If you let people run all over you, the physique will catch them off guard, but then they'll slowly start to figure you out and they'll notice they can just use you for resources, attention, time, validation, whatever the case may be. But especially with women, you got to have a backbone. You got to know when to say no. You got to know when not to be too needy. You got to know when to stop chasing these women because women are supposed to chase you. You're the prize. Once you're fixing your physical shape, once you get to your desired body fat percentage, the women automatically have to respect you. But if you're giving them flags, red flags, showing them that they can't trust you, or you're just like everyone else, lustful, you know, giving them too much validation, and it's not about game, it's just about being yourself and letting them realize you're not changing for nobody, you're not putting on an act, you're not putting them on a pedestal. So I've realized no matter what, it doesn't matter if you have muscles, six-pack, if you're still treating yourself like a simp and you're thinking simple-minded, of course everybody's going to treat you like a simple-minded person and they're just going to use you. 9 times out of 10 they're going to want you around because you make them look better and more people will approach you and more opportunities will come your way, of course, but they'll take advantage of that. The people that don't really fuck with you will take advantage of that. The people that just want to come around you to get information, they'll take advantage of that. But the good thing about it is you get to leave every situation with a good physique, good mindset, a good identity. So it's up to you if you're going to dwell on not having a backbone or not. You can fix that, of course. You can do self-improvement. You can start reading more books, start reading more philosophers, Stoic, things like that, things of those natures. And you have to apply it, of course. You can't just read it and expect for you to wake up the next day automatically, alpha or whatever the term, definition, phrase you guys want to use. But you got to have a backbone. See, growing up, I had 2 parents in my household, and my dad always had a backbone. He always knew when to say no, when we would ask for certain things, because he knew deep down inside it was just like temporary dopamine that we were trying to get. Like, I remember my dad, we wanted a basketball hoop. Me and my brother wanted a basketball hoop. We went like 3-4 years asking him for a fucking basketball hoop. He never gave it to us, always said no. And he was always like, I'm gonna get it for you, I'm gonna get it for you guys, gonna get it for you guys. Eventually he got it for us, but that time frame of where he didn't get it for us, that was the backbone, showing that you guys don't really need a basketball hoop at the time because you guys are already outside turning up with your friends, going out having fun, not coming back till the sun goes down. And deep down inside they knew that we just wanted a basketball hoop because probably other friends in the neighborhood had basketball hoops, so we wanted to like catch up with them, keep up with the Joneses and whatnot. So that's probably how my dad was viewing it. Like, you guys don't really need a basketball hoop. You got a PlayStation, you got a PS2, PS3 at the house. You got all these games. You got bikes, you got scooters, skateboards. We had all of those things growing up. And on top of that, we were outside in the sun, having fun every day, not coming home till the sun goes down, on school days, having fun, do your homework, go be out for a couple hours, don't come back. And, those were some good times, but eventually my parents started doubling down, saying like, hey, yo, y'all going out too much, y'all having fun too much. And parents, of course, they're always going to want to try to stop you from having fun and whatnot. But as I got older, I started learning like it was just the backbone. Both of my parents, my mom and my dad, had the backbone. And outside looking in, a lot of people will try to say, oh, my dad was very mean and narcissistic and whatever the case may be. But sometimes you got to be like that in order for people to respect you and understand where you're coming from. Another funny thing was when I used to go to church, man, all the kids at the church used to be like, oh, your dad's the coolest Haitian or the coolest parent here, because I'm Haitian. We went to Haitian church. And Haitian churches are usually known for having strict, members, strict parents. They're always trying to make you do this and that, make you sit next to them. You can't go hang out with your friends, sit with your friends. You got to sit next to your parents in church and whatnot. Cool, I understand that, but that's another form of backbone. my parents weren't just letting me run around the church, even though I was still getting up, acting like I'm going to the restroom and I'm running around in the back with my friends and shit, having fun in church and shit. But my parents had a backbone. They would literally get up during the service and you'll see my mom outside, dad outside, looking for me. So now that would like make me lock in, tighten up, like, oh shit, I gotta get back inside. I gotta go back inside the church and shit. And we had good times. Me and my siblings and my brothers and sister, we had good times, man, when we were younger. But that backbone and that discipline and that tough love from our parents is what made us be able to survive in this economy and survive in the real world. Because I watch other people's experiences and I'm starting to notice like a lot of people, regardless if they have both parents or just single parent in the household, the parents who didn't have a backbone, bro, the kids ran all over their parents, bro. They were doing everything. You heard about the most rumors at church. You heard about them getting in trouble at school a lot, and why? Because their parents or their influences, guardians, whatever the case may be, they weren't keeping that backbone strong to be like, hey, yo, tying up. I'm not going to let you be doing this and living out here vicariously in this world, doing whatever you think you want to do. And that builds tough skin. That builds like discipline. And it just builds a better mindset. Because certain things we did as kids, now that we're older, once we realize it, we wouldn't ever do that shit again. But kids being kids, they're just having fun. They're not really thinking of the consequences. They're not really thinking of the downfalls. They're not really thinking of the downsides and whatever the case may be. But for example, if I were to have kids in the future, like I would teach them certain things not to do, certain ways to look at certain situations, certain type of influences, certain friends. I would just let them know to be weary of that. And you got to have a backbone, bro. If you have a kid with a woman and the woman sees that you're not taking this pregnancy or whatever the case may be serious, she's going to think you don't have no backbone. So she's going to go look for other attention, other validation, or she's just going to be nagging all around the house, and it's better to live in the wilderness than with an angry, nagging woman. So if you're not putting that effort to stay firm, stay disciplined, stay masculine at all times, bro, then your woman's going to run all over you. You feel me? And every day the game goes on. You guys could call it game, but every day the battle goes on where you have to stay on top of your toes, bro. A lot of men don't stay on top of their toes. They get too comfortable, or they find the girl of their dreams, and now they just say, forget everything in life. I'm just going to settle down. Now, if you settle down with the right person, of course they're going to uplift you and keep you motivated and keep you disciplined with the things that you're already doing before you met them. But if you just get with a random person, like they like to eat all the goofy foods, they like to go clubbing, they like to just indulge into things that you never done, but now that you're with them and you feel like this is the person of your dreams, you start slowly doing those things and you start realizing that you're losing yourself. But you still try to like make it feel normal because you don't want to make your significant other feel bad or whatnot. But when you have a backbone, that's when most of the time arguments come in, most of the time disagreements come in. But at the end of the day, you had the backbone. Regardless if you lose an argument, regardless if you guys get into any type of like miscommunication or like turmoil, she knows deep down inside, like, damn, this dude actually said no. He didn't just let me run all over him. He didn't just let me like whip him around. And that's the case with a lot of things in life, bro. Even work, like, you gotta know when to tell your boss no. You gotta know when to tell your employees no. You gotta know when to limit the conversations. You gotta know when to limit how much information you're giving to people at your workplace. You gotta limit being around people that doesn't serve your purpose or doesn't help you or don't uplift you at all whatsoever. You feel me? When you have that backbone, people respect you more, and the haters and the jealous, envious people, they just stay away from you, bro. Because you could fake it till you make it. You could act fake and put a smile on your face every day, go to work like, yeah. People are going to see through that, and then they're going to use you until the point you hit your breaking point, and then you're going to be like, oh, shit. These niggas caught on to me, and then Now I gotta show them the real side of me. And that's how a lot of people get out of character. You know, they lose their jobs, lose their wife. You know, wife cheats on them and whatnot, because they end up spazzing out from all the built up tension that they had from not being themselves, not being normal, not just letting people know what it is. This is how I operate. This is how I am. Nobody's gonna change me. None of that. So it's just crazy, bro. But for the most part, once you have that backbone built in, bro, you're just gonna naturally get respect from everybody. And once you're in a great physique and you have that backbone, it's gonna turn so many people on, but mainly women. Women are gonna want to be around you. They're gonna want to see how you operate your life, and they're gonna want to help you. The women that are choosing you feel me? They're gonna want to help you. They're gonna want to make sure that you're at peace. They're gonna want to make sure you're hitting your goals, calorie intake, staying in a deficit. Strength training. They're gonna make sure you get up to go to the gym. They're gonna cook you food. They're not gonna be nagging you all the time. They're going to give you your space. You're going to give them their space, because at the end of the day, you can't be just cuddled up under a woman all day and expecting her to just love you, love you, love you, love you, love you, and expect for everything to be all flowers and roses. Eventually, the woman's going to get bored. She's going to want to try different things. Now she's going to want to go out. She's going to want to hang out with her friends more, because you're like suffocating her, bro. You don't even give her time to breathe, time to get some fresh air, go outside, because at the end of the day, you can't run a woman, bro. A woman's going to do what they want to do. And even with society, you can't run your job. You're just a part of the job. You're just a number at the job. You get what I'm saying? All of those things play a part when you have a backbone. You got no backbone, people run all over you. When you got a backbone, people respect you. And for the haters and the envious and the jealous people, they stay away from you because they know you might trigger them. You might trigger them just because of your backbone. You might say something that might just throw them all out of whack, and then they're like, damn, this guy really does have a backbone. This guy really does take no for an answer. He doesn't just say yes, 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 yes to everything. He says no, yes, no, 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 yes, 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 no. It has to be a balance. You can't just constantly be giving people access to you and expecting for everything to go all smooth and flowers and daisies and all that case, bro. When you say no, that's when people treat you like the bad guy, but at least you walked away with a good physique, a backbone, and you get to see another day, and you're at peace because you didn't have to sacrifice your energy. You didn't have to get drained. You didn't have to be around energy vampires. You didn't have to deal with a narcissistic person because you said no. Your backbone kicked in, and it's going to get stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger each time you say no. So learn how to say no, guys. It doesn't matter, bro, how long you've been with your girl. It doesn't matter if it's your family members, friends. Once you say no, they'll start respecting you because they realize they can't try the same things on you anymore. And it's just, that's what it is, bro. Lock in, man. K Fuego.